a spin-off of Titanfall that has arguably overtaken its predecessor. Apex Legends exploded onto the scene in 2019 and has continued to satisfy fans and newcomers alike with regular updates and new characters. The hero shooter has you squad up in teams of 3 to be the last one standing as the map shrinks to force confrontations. What makes Apex distinct are the titular legends, hero characters with their own carefully crafted power sets and abilities. That makes finding your favorite a joy. Brawlhalla is a fighting game in the style of Nintendo's Super Smash Bros. series, as you and your opponents duke it out to knock each other out of the arena. Instead of a mashup of Nintendo stars, though, Brawlhalla offers a roster of more than 60 playable original characters. On top of that, paid cosmetic items reskin the fighters to feature cameos from other series like Star Wars, the WWE, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Call of Duty has been a perpetual hit for Activision for years, but its foray into the free-to-play market has made it even bigger. Warzone is similar to other Battle Royale games in many ways, but it carries the look and feel of Call of Duty with it. As opposed to most Battle Royale games that eliminate the player upon death, Warzone puts downed players in a gulag where they can earn their way back. The game initially launched with trios, but has since updated to include solos, duos, and squad options as well. Other modes include Plunder, where players search for cash drops, and Resurgence, which allows players to come back as long as a member of their squad is still alive. As the follow-up to one of the most popular ongoing first-person shooters of all time, Counter-Strike 2 had a legacy to live up to. It was effectively meant to replace the original Counter-Strike, as well as its semi-sequel, Counter-Strike Global Offensive. Like the originals, CS2 pits teams of terrorists and counter-terrorists against one another across a variety of objective-based modes. Unlike the previous games, though, Counter-Strike 2 moved to the Source 2 engine to deliver a noticeable visual upgrade, performance improvements, and better server architecture. An action game in the style of Monster Hunter, Dauntless has you stalking and battling ferocious beasts called behemoths with up to 5 friends. Like Monster Hunter, you can then use the materials harvested from beast hunting to craft better equipment and take on even loftier challenges. As a live game, though, the stream of behemoths never really stops, and you can continue hunting monsters in perpetuity. Bungie's MMO shooter needs no introduction, but when it first released, it wasn't free to play at all. Like the first game, it began as a full-priced game. Several years and several expansions later, it has fully transformed into an ongoing, free-to-play live service game. You can play a significant chunk of Destiny 2's older content for free, including story missions, player versus player, and more. And Bungie usually gives free access to some past expansions as it gears up for new ones. Bungie regularly adds new powers and rebalancing in the course of these expansions, and those often fold back into the base game as a default part of the experience. And the whole experience shows off Bungie's particular knack for making a great-feeling shooter experience. When Warcraft 3 was modified to make an entirely new game called Defense of the Ancients, also known as Dota, it spawned a whole genre. The MOBA genre has become a popular esport, as professional players perfect their strategies of claiming lanes and encroaching on enemy territory while stopping their opponents from doing the same. It was a big risk when Valve brought on Dota maker IceFrog to develop Dota 2, with the intent of replacing the original. But the gamble has paid off beautifully with a thriving competitive scene